Hello! My name is Second Wind 814, and I just got back from seeing The Darkness. Yes, newest horror film. So, did I like this movie? Hmm, it was so-so. Mediocre. So, oh, oh, the brief, the one sentence synopsis on Google under the movie thing basically says that a supernatural force terrorizes a family after they return from the Grand Canyon, and basically that's essentially what this movie is. And that supernatural force is, this is a spoiler alert, Native American demons. Yep, Native American spirits. So now I'm not. Well, I didn't exactly dislike this movie, but I'm not gonna say it was actually a good movie either. So, oh yeah, the basic plot of the movie is that a family goes to the Grand Canyon. That's basically where it starts out with their vacation to the Grand Canyon. So one of the sons finds a weird. Mm, excuse me. One of the son finds a weird something weird hanging some weird Native American rocks. Knox brings them back home. They get terrorized by Native American spirits, and then they deal with it, and then they get rid of them. That's the plot in a nutshell. But let's go over the plot. So the basic plot is that the family is on a vacation. So, like I said, it starts out with the family on a vacation. The Taylors on a vacation in the Grand Canyon, and basically, they mentioned the legend of some Native American thing. It's discussed later in the movie, and basically, he's some. I guess they're on a vacation with another family, and the kids go hiking, and the youngest kid, Michael falls into this cavern where he finds finds like statues of Native American demons and a bunch of rocks. So he takes the rocks. So moving along, right along, they come back, and essentially over things escalate. The paranormal events in their house escalate, and then eventually they get rid of them. That's essentially the plot out of this movie in a nutshell. But let's go over some things I did like. Now, things I did like is that this movie did have me feeling tense. Hence, I will give it that movie did have me at least. I was feeling quite tense. I felt there were some parts where I kind of felt a tension and horror, and I honestly thought that some of the effects were actually not actually well done. However, on and I thought on and I thought and basically I thought the plot was easy to follow. Now let's go over some things I didn't like. Now, and this might be a and one of the things I didn't like is that this movie deals with family. I shouldn't use air quotes, but anyways, family issues, which is becoming a very common theme in movies these days. Well, I shouldn't say common theme, but movies that I've seen, it's becoming something common. Jurassic World, The Darkness. Well, I guess that's only two movies. Wow. Ow. Anyways, but yeah, there are family issues. You've got a dad who's got who's stressed out at work, a mom who's a stay-at-home mom who constantly deals with the paranormal activity and starts drinking. You've got a daughter who's basically daughter who's weight conscious. This and essentially yeah, he throws up her food. And you've got the youngest child, Michael, who is autistic and can communicate with spirits. Yeah. Now, whether or not you consider some of that stereotyped or maybe racist or whatever, I don't really know, and I don't really care. I would care. Personally, though, I just found the family issues angle annoying in this one. Jurassic World, it wasn't that bad, but this one, it was just kind of annoying. Annoying. I mean, the relationship between Michael and Stephanie, the daughter, was annoying in this one too, because stereotypes. Stephanie's is your modern teenager who's well, I shouldn't say modern teenager, because she's there's the angle that he's I guess what you could call, well, I shouldn't say bulimic, but where she throws up her, you know what, yeah, she's bulimic, but anyways, there's the angle where she's like bulimic, and she's like the typical teenager, and how she's weight conscious, just blah blah blah. Michael, who is autistic, and he acts weird because he is autistic, and all that. There's a stay-at-home mom who is the first one to that maybe there's something wrong, and then you have the dad who's basically this big workaholic, and and he's constantly stressed out. He's doing projects that come down to the wire at work. So yeah, that's I didn't like that part. Alright, and not to mention, and when we discover the believe angle, it never gets brought up again. So good job with that one. However, I do want to give this movie, before we go any further, I do want to give this movie credit in the fact that it did not have an abundance or reliance on jump scares. That I will give it. That granted, yes, there are jump scares, but it's not like a lot of horror movies these days, which are basically reliant on jump scares to make you feel fear. I will admit that it does have tension. Instead, it tries to build tension. The problem is, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't escalate. It does escalate. But the problem is here, a lot of it uses the stuff they use is typical haunted house escalation cliches. Starts out with stuff like the faucets turning on mysteriously, son talking to an imaginary friend, and then it escalates into hand marks everywhere, noises, and then it escalates into seeing things and blah 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 blah, seeing things, apparitions, and all that. So yeah, haunted house, a lot of haunted house or haunting movie cliches. Yes, that was an angle I kind of didn't like. I will admit, though, once again, and it did build tension. The problem for me is that it never really, the tension doesn't. It did get. Blah, 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 excuse me. What I was trying to say, the tension. It does escalate, but The problem is it kind of escalates and then it kind of plateaus out a little bit. The final, it, the final part where they're trying to get at, well, they have this Native American healer come in to banish the evil spirits. Is here it's as be I think blah blah blah. Excuse me. But I thought it was good. Nah, you know what? No, I mean they get sorry, excuse me. It was me. I think my train of thought is derailing. Ailing. I'll go back on track. So, anyways, yeah. So the final scene. So I shouldn't say the final scene. The part where they're trying to get they bring in the spiritual healer, her and I guess her granddaughter, to, excuse me, to get rid of the ghosts and all that. I thought that was it didn't really, for me at least. Yeah, it was tense, but it didn't really feel very impactful to me. Yeah, they have the woman screaming at trying to make it go away. They have like lightning effects, but for me, it didn't really feel like a major escalation. It didn't feel like a major climax like it should. Like I think they were hoping it to. So, oh yeah, I mean, you have the things like the lightning bolt, the old lady getting struck by lightning. Yes, it happens. And bizarre, and her having visions and all that. And then, I mean, and then, but still, I didn't think it was that climactic. I think it could have used as another notch up. It wasn't like The Exorcist or the Amityville Horror or Poltergeist or any Paranormal Activity. Yeah, I'm going through a lot of horror movies because basically those are the horror movies that is where once they reach their peak, it actually is a climactic. It feels climactic. It feels like this. Yeah, this is the climax of the movie. It just didn't have that feel to me. It literally, the tension just kind of plateaued out by that part. So yeah. So if you don't know, I mean, guess it is Michael who banishes the spirits in. Well, I shouldn't say guess, but yeah, it's Michael who gets rid of the demons and demons overall. Because basically, they explain in the movie that essentially this tribe. I forget what the tribe is called on now. Oh, forgive me for this, but let's see. Hold on. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, hold on. It's like a Native American. I forget what it's called. You know what? Fuck it. Anyways, so as I was saying, yeah, it's a Native American tribe, ancient tribe. I forget what they were called. Now, but anyways, so yeah, they explain it basically through YouTube video. Basically the characters are looking up. The mom is looking up paranormal stuff on the internet, and she stumbles upon, I guess, what it is a YouTube, or I don't know if it's supposed to be a YouTube video, but it has the style of the YouTube video. So on this tribe, and they were in the mountains, or in the Grand Canyons, and they had worshipped like these deities of nature, and then the deities of nature became destructive, so they basically sealed them away and basically got out of there. And essentially, during their trip to the Grand Canyon, Michael unleashes them by taking the rocks away. And so, going back to the end of the film, basically we see Michael going with these demons through a cave. His father's trying to get at him. His father says, "Oh yeah, take me instead." Blah blah blah. And they try to take him, and Michael puts all the stones back because somehow they went with this magical warp teleported them from allows them to go from the house into the cave. So yeah, Michael puts all the stones back, seals the demon, and they escape. So yeah, and I forgot, and I should mention before going any further that the portal is opened by Michael basically burning up the wall. Yes, after they return from the Grand Canyon, Michael basically it's weird and creepy. Starts talking to invisible friends. And red flag number one. Un 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 starts doing a lot of different creepy. Starts counting, and eventually like sets his wall on fire. Excuse me. Excuse me for that. I apologize. So where was I? Oh yes, the rock. Yes, talking about Native Americans, I believe. Sorry, lost my train of thought here. But anyways, so yeah, the ending. Basically, they're either the ending while they're in this ending while they're in this ritual to try and get rid of these Native American demons. Mikey wanders off. Excuse me. Mikey wanders off, goes into a room with the burnt wall. His dad sees him. He's going into the portal, going away with these demons. And he says, and the dad basically says, "Take me." They try to take him, and basically, but then basically Mikey, he returns all the stones to their rightful place, and he seals all the demons away, and they escape, and they live happily ever after. And then basically the ending just shows them like having a picnic and playing with each other. There's no real coming together or anything like that. Basically, they explain in the movie that when the rocks were removed because as they were sealing the demons away, the demons are freed, and they torture everybody. How do you torture those who removed them into madness or slow, painful death, and all that. Basically, the demons bring out the darkness in people, like brings out the evil, the dark side, or the evil side of somebody. Blah. I guess that's no, I shouldn't say I guess, but yeah, that's one of the things they use to explain the family issues angle, which I don't think is their ink. I don't think it's a very good way to explain it, especially because the family issues angle really isn't explored that much until near the end of the movie. And even then, it's not really that good explored that much. It's kind of like they sit though. I mean, the husband and wife do sit down and have a talk, but it's not really that much of a talk. It's just kind of a thing where the dad didn't notice anything because he was doing all this work, but the mom did. Blah blah blah. And yes, I know it sounds stereotyped, and it is, but hey, that's what that's the movie. So yeah, the ending, the way with the ending, how it just showed them with a picnic and ended. I didn't really like that. It didn't really show the. Well, I mean, yeah, it showed the family together, but it didn't. But there was no like moving out of the house. There was no oh oh doing oh there was no thanking the woman again to help them. There was no oh sit down afterwards or urge with all the family and opening up and all that. It's just kind of yeah. The thing is over. They're all together. Or picnic and all that. Picnic at the park, I should say. But anyway, so yeah. Uh, and I think that's one of the issues that this movie suffers from is that there's angles that aren't explored. The only real one that's kind of explored is, well, I shouldn't say kind of, but the only real one angle that is explored throughout the movie is the son's autism and how he communicates with spirits. I mean the family issues. Yeah, that's in the movie because that's there throughout the movie. But movie, I shouldn't say autism the only one, but yeah, family issues, who's the paranormal activity, and the autism. Those are the angles that get explored. The other problem is other angles like the Dodge bulimia. That I mean, we see that in one scene, but it never gets brought up again. And yeah, that is part of the family issues. But like I said, the family issues is there the whole movie. But the problem we don't really see it manifest except until like the end where people are like stressed out and all. And even then, it doesn't really feel like feel very explored. It's like they kind of focus on all the paranormal activity. And then and I think one of the problems with this movie is the stereotypes. And I know that sounds bad, me saying stereotypes, but the characters are stereotyped. From the dad who's constantly working all the time, is just consistently stressed out at work. Stay-at-home mom who's constantly noticing a paranormal activity. The son who's autistic and communicates with spirits, which is probably one of the only. Well, I guess, yeah, he's one of the only ones that's not stereotyped. At least that's how I saw it. And the daughter and the typical teenage. Well, the typical teenage daughter who's conscious about her weight and basically throws up her food to make to lose weight. So, and I think that's one of the major angles that holds this movie back. So yeah, that's one of the movies that hold. I think that's one of the major things that holds this movie back is the family issue, who's is kind of just there. It's not really expanded upon much. I mean, there is this part where the mother is clearly starting to drink, but it's not really expanded upon. Like the father's stress at work doesn't really cause him to stay up late or lose sleep or anything like that. And then the mother's stress over the paranormal activity. That's one of the angles that's explored, but it's kind of explored in a typical way. And what I mean by that is it's the classic mother notices something, tries to confront the father, mother says something, their father doesn't believe her type thing. And yes, I know, that's how a lot of things work, where one person notices the activity and and the other person doesn't believe them. But honestly, I think maybe that should be it should would be a would be changed because the family issues is something that I don't think a lot of people like to see in movies unless it's done right. Done right. Like in the original Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World. Anyway, it is. So yeah, the other thing, and then there's the Native American spirits. I mean, That's kind of an interesting thing, thing, thing how they explore it through the for it. But the problem is, it's only mentioned. It's not really brought up there much. It's like brought up in the YouTube video. Was there watching? There's the husband and wife watch what doing research. Yes, you say research in air quotes because it's only like 2 scenes of it. But well, more than 2 scenes, but not very much time. But anyways, yeah, it's mentioned there, here, and or how these demons appear in different forms. Forms. I think it's like a snake, a crow, buffalo, coyote, and wolf. Yes, it's 2 different canines. And I mean, they do have everything, all the animals there, but the animal, but the way the animals appear is just kind of random. Well, I mean, except with the exception of the buffalo, that would have been kind of crazy. They had a buffalo in a house. But anyways, yeah. I mean, the snake appears at a point where Mikey is gone to visit his grandmother, and all of a sudden there's just a random snake in her house. I think it's a rattlesnake. But yeah, that's how they basically have essentially all the animals except the buffalo appear, obviously, because I don't think it's really legal for them to get a buffalo on a movie set. And let's face it, a buffalo on a movie set would probably be a very, very bad idea. So yeah. Uh, anyways, he's moving right along. On. They basically. I mean, there are also one of the things that I also didn't like about this movie is how there are so many times in the movie where it would seem like Mikey is going with these spirits, but doesn't. Like there's a time when there are so many times where he is like standing or sitting in front of the wall, where it seems like the spirits have come through. There's one scene. I just get wait, but there's one scene where the mother goes to and Mikey's sitting in front of the wall, saying that the sky people are here, and you see a bunch of beings behind her, and then it's just a dream, which I hate. That's one. Hey, yes, that's another thing I don't like. Thankfully, it was only used once. This movie is basically when things turn out to be like all a dream. I mean, I get a character. I mean, here it's used pretty good because it's only like once in a night. It's a nightmare, so I guess it doesn't really apply. But nah. I'm gonna go off on a rant here. I gotta get back to the main story. And anyway, so yeah. Getting back at the actual movie. Then there's like another time where it's supposed to be where the spirits are fully coming through. And then they go to the dad comes home. Finds a coyote in the tree house. Goes sees like this shadow in his, I guess in the daughter's room, who the daughter has basically just been attacked. act, and she's got a bunch of black ash handprints all over her. But anyways, yeah, and then he goes into Mikey's room and goes into his bathroom, finds blood everywhere. But I don't know, but it doesn't explain how it got the blood got there or anything, which is kind of stupid. Because I thought that maybe perhaps Mikey had gone with them, but no, he was still there. And then one of the things that's not explained is like I did skip over this but anyway, like in the very beginning of the movie when he falls into the cave, he does get out, but it never explains how he gets out. There's no like party that comes to rescue him or anything like that. He just gets out somehow. But anyway, and that's one of the things I think is that like there's that and the blood and other parts of this movie I didn't stop saying but anyway, there are these that aren't explained. I mean, I get the black handprints, faucets turning on by themselves. Yeah, that's designed to be a supernatural activity, or ghost activity. That's explainable by that angle, but the fact that there are so many times when Mikey, it seems like Mikey is gonna go with them and doesn't. I mean, I guess you could argue that it's just the escalation into the point where he's going with them, but it's just feels like it should. But by the time it does happen, it feels like it should have happened a while ago in the movie. Yeah. Another thing that I didn't like about the movie is how, for once again, and you know what? No, I just realized I'm about to rehash things I've said earlier. Sorry. It's sorry. So, anyway, I need to. You know what? I need to wrap this up, or I'm gonna be here all night. So, anyways, so yeah, what were so final verdict? Alright, for this movie, 6 out of 10. And not exactly a bad horror movie, but not a masterpiece either. You know what? Now I'm gonna say 5 out of 10. And not an average, and not bad, but not a horror masterpiece. Just an average horror flick. Well, not average, but a horror flick that definitely could have been done a lot better. Would I recommend this movie? I guess you could go see it, but I'll just say, probably not. Nah. I thought it was okay. I not liked it, but I thought it was okay. But I can see how other people wouldn't like it. So yeah, there you have it. The Darkness, 5 out of 10, and not recommended. Ended. And well, that about wraps up for this video. My name is 71814. Thank you so much for watching. May the wind always be at your back. See you next time.